coming up on Aging and Awesome.
All too often, scammers try and take advantage of us. We spoke with the new Washoe County Sheriff to discuss the latest scams that we should look out for.
Now, think you're too old to give back? Think again. The inspiring story of a local senior who's serving Nevada's homeless. His message for others, plus ways for you to get involved.
And February is American Heart Month. We have the new blood pressure guidelines to keep you aging and awesome. Hey there, thanks for tuning into Aging and Awesome. I'm Joe Della Ripa.
And I'm Kai Sisson. We begin tonight with a special interview with newly elected Washoe County Sheriff Darren Balaam. He sat down with Joe and I to inform the senior community on how scam artists who target seniors are coming up with new techniques to take advantage of you all the time.
There are so many important things to be aware of. Here is Sheriff Darren Balaam.
Joining Joe and I here at the Continuum is newly elected Sheriff Darren Balaam of the Washoe County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Balaam, thanks so much for coming on to talk about a very important topic, scams. What are the latest scams seniors face today?
You know, I think some of the greatest ones we've seen is the grand jury scam. So they'll call and they'll say, you know, hey, you've missed grand jury, so you either pay or we're going to come out and arrest you. Or you will see the sweepstakes scams or the grandparent scams.
That's a big one.
That's a big one.
Really horrible.
That's a big one. And nowadays with technology, it is so easy to get information. They can gather a little bit of information, so when they call, you know, hey, I'm your grandson, I'm back east. We've had several people at the sheriff's office receive those calls over the years, and they've almost been fooled. And then they have to take a second, and, you know, then they realize, well, where are my son or where's my grandson? And those are probably the biggest scams we've been seeing so far.
That was one of the, my first experience was one of those scams with a phone call. Grandma, this is your grandson and I need so much money and then I can get going and then all of a sudden I realized, who is this?
Yeah, and you started asking questions.
And I started to ask questions about where are you and who are you, and that was the end of it.
Good, and that's a good way to protect yourself, is decipher what's real and what's not.
Absolutely, you know, is to be informed. And again, especially with large families, or, you know, even if, you know, it's your grandsons or grandkids, you don't know where they may be, so ask those questions. And if you're unsure, what I always tell people is, get that information and you can call that agency. So if they say, well, I'm arrested, I need bail money.
Yeah.
Well, where are you at? What's the agency? And I'll call them and get your bail information where I can send it, because then, you know, you can confirm that, and those that are scams, they won't give you that address.
And sadly, a lot of seniors are being taken by these really horrible people.
Absolutely. That's probably one of the most disheartening things is when we see those scams, because a lot of times they're embarrassed, you know, and that's what we find. And, you know, one of the things I want to do is get out there with our agency and the community of educating the seniors. It's don't be embarrassed, and here's how you can protect. And for those that are helping their grandparents or parents that are getting older, you know, here's some of the things you can talk about. You know, technology is getting interwoven into our lives so much that we need to talk about it. We need to educate them. And if something happens, that's okay. But we're here to help.
Right. And now you're newly elected.
Yes.
And we wanted to ask about what are you doing specifically with your new administration for seniors in our community?
You know, one of the things that right now is we're getting our feet wet, but once we start that, what I would like to do is go out to all the senior places in the community and have that class and collaborate with Reno and Sparks would be a great thing, police departments, because we all have a fraud division, and then let's get out there and talk about those scams and how you can protect yourself and what questions you should ask.
Yeah.
And that's what I'll be doing over this next year with our detectives division and even our patrol division as we go to personal homes.
Got to let Joe and I know when you're doing that. So
Absolutely. I would love to, yes.
It's all about information, right?
It is, you know, and social media now, you know, seniors may or may not be on that. but that's another way we'll be getting some of that information out is through our Facebook page, media releases, but we will definitely love to partner with you when we start doing that.
Sheriff, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll have you again soon. Very important segment, Senior Scams. We'll have more segments on this here on Aging and Awesome. Thanks so much for watching. All right, coming up next on Aging and Awesome, Senior Care Plus is your wellness partner. A good diet and regular exercise is the key to keeping a healthy blood pressure, but there are new guidelines you need to know to stay aging and awesome.
And meet a very wonderful senior who is going above and beyond for the homeless. He will inspire you next.
Aging and Awesome is brought to you by The Continuum. They provide rehabilitation therapies and wellness programs, including an adult day club. Call The Continuum at 829-4700 for more info.
At Senior Care Plus, we're more than just a Medicare Advantage plan. We're your local experts in helping you understand the facts about Medicare so you can make the best decision for your health. Confused about Medicare? Then you'll want to attend our educational seminar on the ABCs of Medicare. This is not a sales meeting. It is a free seminar where you'll learn about all of your Medicare options so you can make the right choice. ABCs of Medicare. Reserve your seat today. Call or visit seniorcareplus.com.
At Caring Transitions, we often hear people say they wish they had heard of us years earlier. Relocating and downsizing can be stressful and overwhelming. As the nation's largest professional resource for household liquidation, we offer a total solution to handle every aspect of your move. Maybe you're looking to have an estate sale, downsize to a smaller home, or simply reduce years of clutter. Our experts can help. Contact Caring Transitions. We can help make life easier for your family.
Someone you love needs a little help with the ins and outs of day-to-day living. A friendly companion right at their door. A personal touch, now that's caregiving. Call on us at Lend a Hand. We're locally owned, a family business. Lend a hand, lend a hand. Our caregivers make the difference.
Life is story. Pages of amazing adventure and narrow escapes. Bold steps taken, races run, chapters on love and hard lessons and new beginnings. Your life, your legacy, our privilege to serve. Morningstar Senior Living.
Welcome back. Community involvement and volunteering is beneficial for people of all ages, but for us seniors, it can be extremely rewarding. Lend a Hand's Shannon Bonetti takes us to Catholic Charities for this week's Senior Spotlight.
He shows up before the sun rises, 5 hours of prep work, 2 hours of serving, and even sticks around to clean up. 83-year-old Hank Deaver volunteers to feed the homeless nearly every single day.
It keeps me out of trouble, but it keeps the mind going good, and you get more yourself than you do from the people you're giving to.
The Catholic Charities Dining Hall serves about 400 people a day, with Hank at the heart of the volunteer team.
He's got plenty of energy. He's fun to work with. You know, he is one of the people that shows up and makes the day enjoyable.
He's been here for 13 years and even shows up on holidays, sacrificing time with his kids and grandchildren to serve others.
They were giving me a bad time by not being there Christmas and Thanksgiving down in the Bay Area. And finally I said, hey, I tell you what you do. How about coming up here and doing what I do and see if it affects you the way it affected me.
He says he feels valued and useful, something many seniors struggle with.
I'm happy with myself because I figure I did right.
He doesn't worry about his age, you know, and he's lucky. It hasn't got him yet, you know, but it doesn't mean you couldn't come down here. We have stuff that people in a wheelchair could do.
A job for everyone looking to give back in their retired years.
If you're an old fart like me, come on down. Just give it a try. And if you're really serious about, moving forward in your old age, you'll come
And how long do you plan to continue volunteering?
You'll probably have to carry me out of here.
Yes, that's very much true. People enjoy working here, which is, it's different than any other place. It's not like when you have to go to work and punch in. You know, it's enjoyable.
For more volunteer information, go to ccsnn.org.
Hank is just so sweet. I loved interviewing him. Joining me now is Diane Ross, the CEO of The Continuum. You guys do a lot of volunteer work here and a lot of giving back to the community. Tell our viewers about that.
Well, yes, we do. We believe in community intervention and collaboration, and so we know that one company or one business can't do it all. So the idea of all of us working together is really where we're going to create an environment for wellness, and a lot of that is the concern we have with isolation that we're seeing so much of now versus socialization, and what the benefits are of a social program.
And just like in the story Hank was saying, he feels like he has a family there at the dining hall, and he feels that he is really needed, and that's so important for aging folks.
Absolutely, the need to be needed. And I think sometimes what happens is we see somebody with perhaps a disability. Maybe they are hearing impaired or visually impaired or in a wheelchair, or they have a memory or cognitive component like a dementia. And that doesn't necessarily have to keep them from stepping out into the community and giving back. The need to be needed is so important. And at the Continuum, in our Regenerations program, we have been running a program for the homeless to feed them. So once a week, everybody gets together in our Adult Day program, and we pack a lunch for, I think, 25 or 35 clients. Someone comes in and takes that lunch and takes it to the homeless. I mean, these are people, we think people with dementia can't give back.
Exactly.
Not true. There's so much that they can do.
And just like we heard, there's a job for everyone.
Job, yes. It's just finding that. And I think we need to be understanding that isolation is on the rampant. We're seeing people living longer, and of course, as we age, we change. And sometimes that results in isolation. They are unable to go out, or we've not been able to reach out to them. So we as professionals need to know the signs of isolation and how we can reach out and help these people, because there's volunteer programs for everybody. Of all abilities.
Sounds like the perfect partnership. Thank you so much, Diane, for your time. Coming up next on Aging and Awesome.
Cars Cab is out and about again. That's coming up on Aging and Awesome.
Also, we have those new blood pressure guidelines you need to know about. That's brought to you by Senior Care Plus. Next.
Aging and Awesome is brought to you by Lakeside Manor. Living at Lakeside Manor means pleasure for the residents and peace of mind for their families. Take a tour of Lakeside Manor today.
Our story begins more than 60 years ago inside an abandoned chicken coop where our founder discovered a retired teacher living. No home, no health care. So she said no to this injustice and yes to transforming lives. It's this drive, this compassion that inspired AARP. Today, we empower people to choose how they live as they age. We advocate for health and financial security. We strengthen communities everywhere. We are AARP Nevada. Creating real possibilities.
Hi, I'm Laura. My grandkids love to come hiking with us, and now I don't miss a moment with them, thanks to Miracle Ear. When I went in for my free hearing evaluation, my hearing specialist did tests to find out if I even had hearing loss. It turns out I did, and I'm not alone.
Visit one of our Northern Nevada locations in Reno, Sparks, and Carson City. 775-331-2500.
There are a lot of seniors in Northern Nevada.
In Washoe and Douglas counties, seniors make up the fastest growing age group.
Carson City, too.
All of us at Aging and Awesome want to inform, enlighten, and inspire our senior communities and their families.
Everyone is getting older, and that's for sure.
So, if you and your business want to be a part of this positive
and fun
brand of being Aging and Awesome, we are looking for partners to come on this journey with us.
Head to our website, agingandawesome.com, to learn more about partnership opportunities. Welcome back. Heart disease is the leading cause of death for men and women in the United States, and February is American Heart Month. Senior Care Plus and Renown want us seniors to know about ways to prevent disease, starting with keeping a healthy blood pressure. Have a look.
Joining Joe and I here at the Renown Institute for Heart and Vascular Health is Dr. Chris Rowan to talk about these new blood pressure guidelines. Dr. Rowan, what exactly are they? What do people need to know?
So recently the guidelines did change with the goal blood pressure being previously was 140/90. As a result of a large trials that were done, they said, if you lower that just a little bit, you can reduce the risk of stroke, heart attack, and other bad outcomes. So the new guidelines changed to less than 130/80.
And so how do people know if they have high blood pressure? Is this something they need to check regularly?
Yeah, so high blood pressure is previously called the silent killer. There's very little, you don't really feel anything if you have high blood pressure. A lot of times you're diagnosed at your doctor's office when you go in and he says your blood pressure's high today. So people find out at health screenings, or they go to their local grocery store or their local store that has one of those blood pressure cuffs, and they find out it's elevated. And that's really the best way to figure it out.
Keeping it low, keeping it at the right rate that it's supposed to be. What do people need to do to make sure that happens?
So the number one thing to do, and the number one thing with anything, is lifestyle. Change who you are, your habits. So exercise more, and the best exercise is just going for a walk every single day. You don't have to join a gym. You don't have to become a triathlete. You don't have to lift weights. Go for a 20-minute walk a day. Also, reduce your salt intake. So one of the most common things people tell me in clinic is, well, I don't salt my food. And I say, you don't have to, because there's already so much salt in your food that you just don't need to. If you lower your salt intake to less than 2,000 milligrams a day, it's usually better than taking one or two medications in and of itself. People are always saying, can I get off my pills? And I go, yeah, you can. You got to follow a really low salt diet. Unfortunately for most people, it's not easy to do because their lifestyle's wrapped around dining out, convenience food, frozen food, canned food, etc.
It's funny you said that. Joe and I were just talking about that on the way over here. They should make fast food not good, not taste good.
Right.
Exactly. Also, I always wondered about sugar. You talk so much about salt, and I always thought it was the sugar intake that you had to be careful about.
Well, obviously, if you're diabetic, sugar intake is going to make things worse for you. It's going to lead to weight gain. It's going to lead to higher risk of kidney problems. It doesn't affect blood pressure per se. A lot of times, sugar intake can be associated with other foods that have a lot of salt intake. So, for example, if you're eating chocolate cake at one of your local restaurants after dinner, then you're probably going to get a big salt load before that chocolate cake. But sugar by itself, doesn't necessarily cause high blood pressure.
So keeping it low, important to walk every day, right, Joe?
Yes, and get out, get up, and move.
And only an hour a day. I feel like she was walking to the grocery store and carried 2 big bags of groceries home. You worry me sometimes.
Well, I balanced it on each side, so I wasn't crooked. I tried to walk straight.
Good. Dr. Rowan, let's get those numbers one more time so people at home can write them down.
Yeah, so 130/80 is the easiest number to remember, so try and keep your average resting blood pressure under that. Don't check your blood pressure first thing in the morning right when you wake up because it's going to be wonky. Don't check it after you've been doing something vigorous. Don't do it if you're anxious. Give yourself 5 or 10 minutes, just sit down and relax and don't do anything and check it, and then 130/80.
Great. Well, we will have all those numbers on our website, agingandawesome.com. We still have some more show to come up. Joe, do you have anything else to say? I feel like you do.
Oh, I wanted to emphasize the exercise because I've always been fortunate that I enjoy exercise. And I'm not much at sitting unless I'm reading a book.
Usually we're using this mic now, but we have a mic that we put on her to keep her seated because she's moving all around and talking to people. All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Rowan. Thank you to Renown for having us. Coming up next on Aging and Awesome.
Aging and Awesome is brought to you by Lakeside Manor. Living at Lakeside Manor means pleasure for the residents and peace of mind for their families. Take a tour of Lakeside Manor today.
My friend Ginny Christian. She's a resident at Lakeside Manor, an active senior living community in Reno near Virginia Lake. She's lived here for 2 years now and tells us how making the transition to Lakeside Manor changed her life for the better.
I've enjoyed every single thing about where I live, my apartment that I live in, my patio out here where I can have, in the summer, I can have plants and stuff. And there's nothing not to like her. There really isn't. When people come through, I tell them, well, to me, they say, well, thank you for allowing us to come. They want to see where I live when they're trying to get somebody in. And I said, well, to me, you've seen the best, so no No sense trying the rest. You've got the best. I had a big family, and I always had a huge family dinner. I got sick of laundry. Of course, my oxygen didn't help me because I don't breathe good, and I got weaker, and I just got sick of it all. I called my daughter, who lives in Nashville, Tennessee, and I said, Roberta, I am just so sick of this mundane thing day after day. I don't want to cook, and I don't want to clean and push vacuums. She said, Mom, I'll be right out. And she came, and she found this. My daughter found this, and then she brought me. Well, I felt when I walked in the front door, sold. I have no worries here at all, none. Everyone that works here is super friendly and trying to, just wonderful people that work here. They must take a test in order to get the job. The one that I really am into is the bingo, because it's every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3 o'clock. And it gets me out of my room for a while. I see something that I'm gonna try, which is called arts and crafts. I'm gonna try that this year. It's on my calendar. And this is called independent living. If I want a cocktail, I can have one. I'm having a Bloody Mary as we speak. Nobody can tell me I can't do anything, and all I have to do is get up and just have a wonderful day with no worries. It's just carefree. It's carefree living. You're tired of beating yourself up? Get rid of your big house and come and be happy in this little wonderful 2-room place. I mean, it is wonderful. Truly.
Howdy ho! It's off in Kai's Cap we go. Who do we have in the back today?
John Green.
John Green? You feeling good?
Yep.
Happy to be alive?
Yes.
I love it, John. How old are you?
76.
Looking good! Welcome to Kai's Cap. You have the opportunity to win a great prize if you get 3 out of 4 questions right. Are you a pretty good trivia player? Do you feel confident?
Sure.
Sure? That doesn't sound very confident.
It will be.
All right, John, I got your first question for you. I hope you're a geography guy. Which state capital is Montgomery? Is it A, Wisconsin, B, Alabama, or C, Washington?
Alabama.
That is correct. Alabama. You ever been?
Yes.
For what?
Traveling around the country.
Oh, fun. Good. You're 1 for 1. That was an easy one. Let's get a little harder here. Ooh, let's see if you know this one, which you might. I don't know. We'll see. What is the male Barbie doll's name?
Ken.
Okay. You didn't even let me give you the options. Jeez, John. Yes, Ken. You're correct.
Oh, I gotta wait for options. Okay.
The option, there's an option on the, it was John. John is an option.
That's not the answer.
Good. You're right, that's not the answer. 2 for 2. Let's see if you can get this one right. What were the last 2 states to be admitted to the Union, the United States of America? Is it A, South Dakota and Oregon, B, Alaska and Washington, C, Hawaii and California, or D, Hawaii and Alaska?
Hawaii and Alaska.
You're too smart, you smart cookie back there. You look Scottish. Can you, with your
Irish.
You're Irish? That's okay. You look Irish because of your hat. Can you give me an Irish accent?
Faith and McGuire, but you wanted to ask about that now.
Say that again?
Faith and McGuire, you wanted to ask about my accent now. It's called a brogue.
A brogue?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Okay. I love it. So, your 4th and final question. Let's see if you can get it right. You are 3 for 4, so you are a winner of Kai's Cap. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Here we go. Question number 4. Where does the Tanner family live from the TV show Full House? Is it A, Palm Beach, B, Tampa, C, San Francisco?
What family?
The Tanner family from the show Full House. Remember that show? You had the kids and Uncle Jesse, and Bob Saget is the dad.
Let's try Tampa.
Wrong. I should have given him that question earlier. It's San Francisco.
Okay.
But you won anyway. Congratulations, John.
Thank you.
Thanks for playing Kai's Cap.
Aging and Awesome is brought to you by Lend a Hand in-home care and transportation, compassion-driven quality care in Northern Nevada for 26 years. Call Lend a Hand today for personal care, light housekeeping, meal preparation, and more. Lend a Hand, where our caregivers make the difference.
Well, that's our show. Did you have fun, Joe?
Yes. Our challenge for you this week,
Yes.
sometimes a phone call can change someone's life. If you know someone who might be feeling lonely, give them a call and make their day.
So true. We'll see you right back here next week, 7 o'clock on 2 News. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And be sure to go to our website, agingandawesome.com, to hear about all the wonderful resources we talked about on this show.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
1, 2, 3, listen.
Jolly good show.
Hi, I'm Laura. My grandkids love to come hiking with us, and now I don't miss a moment with them, thanks to Miracle Ear. When I went in for my free hearing evaluation, my hearing specialist did tests to find out if I even had hearing loss. It turns out I did, and I'm not alone.
Visit one of our Northern Nevada locations in Reno, Sparks, and Carson City. 775-331-2500.
There are a lot of seniors in Northern Nevada.
In Washoe and Douglas counties, seniors make up the fastest growing age group.
Carson City, too.
All of us at Aging and Awesome want to inform, enlighten, and inspire our senior communities and their families.
Everyone is getting older, and that's for sure.
So, if you and your business want to be a part of this positive
and fun
brand of being Aging and Awesome, we are looking for partners to come on this journey with us.
Head to our website, agingandawesome.com, to learn more about partnership opportunities.
Someone you love needs a little help with the ins and outs of day-to-day living. A friendly companion right at their door. A personal touch, now that's caregiving. Call on us at Lend a Hand. We're locally owned, a family business. Lend a hand, lend a hand. Our caregivers make the difference.
Our story begins more than 60 years ago inside an abandoned chicken coop where our founder discovered a retired teacher living, no home, no health care. So she said no to this injustice and yes to transforming lives. It's this drive, this compassion that inspired AARP. Today, we empower people to choose how they live as they age. We advocate for health and financial security. We strengthen communities everywhere. We are AARP Nevada, creating real possibilities.